Hi, welcome to Angela's Anything Show, Big Brother recaps. So last night was Sunday, and you know what that means, new Sunday, new head of household. But before the first head of household competition, on Friday there was a very special bonus episode. I was busy Friday, so I just watched it before the Sunday episode. And basically there's 7 people left, so they kind of do like a fun picnic day, which includes a private concert from Ziggy Marley where he only played like one song. It's always funny to watch the showmances like get a glimpse of what it might be like to like actually be a couple in the real world. AKA Natalie's like dancing, having fun, like trying to get James to dance, but like he probably doesn't actually dance and he's just like, yeah, like, or like Corey and Nicole like trying to like hang out and drink beer. You always like see a little preview and you're like, like, yeah, I wonder what it's gonna be like when they break up. Although I really hope that Natalie and James stay together. Like they're extremely cute. It's just funny how you realize like their relationship is so like not actually been tested by real life, so whatever. Anyway, so they have this whole thing with Ziggy Marley, and then they have a lot of competitions, and then also it's like a way for them to kind of it's kind of like the halfway point. So they go and like reflect on, oh, like the showman says, oh, like there's like cardboard cutouts of people that have been evicted, so I'm sure the producers are like, okay, like Natalie, you go over to this kissing booth and talk about the showmances, like Paul, you go over here and talk about like all the different pranks. So it's actually a really fun episode. It's like it's like no drama, just them showing like funny clips like that you may have forgotten or that you haven't seen, and I love when they do that. I love when they just show them kind of just being real, you know? But within the picnic day, there are competitions which have like money prizes, but also some of them have advantages. And there's like a cupcake eating thing, and Michelle like wins an advantage in the upcoming HOH. So let's get to that, because nothing else really cool happened. No, just like funny clips, but nothing that cool happened in the nothing legendary. So oh no, that's not true. So the one thing that does happen Friday that kind of the one thing that happens Friday that's kind of like involved with gameplay is Nicole, before last week's elimination, basically Paul tries to tell James and Natalie or something that like Nicole and Corey are gonna come after them or something like that, or that, oh, watch out because if I get voted off, like I bet Nicole and Corey will come after you. And Nicole's like, no, like that's not true. So she tells James and Natalie, she's like, look, not only would I never come after you, James, like I really want to work with you, yada yada, blah blah blah. Which is one of the first times, I mean, Nicole was she's playing a pretty smart game, because at the beginning of the show, she was playing pretty hard with like the crew, like the clique, you know? So she kind of kept a low profile and went with the flow, and now that it's getting less and less people, she is not only attached to a really strong player, allegedly Corey's a strong player, I don't see it, but she's now kind of trying to make more aggressive game moves and let her voice be heard now that she's not really considered a threat. So either she's not trying to play a game and she just like sucks at playing the game, or she's playing like an actual pretty strategic game. Either way, I find myself rooting for Nicole. She seems like she's really cool and chill. She's hoping going into HOH that her and Corey are aligned with James and Natalie, which would make perfect sense, because then it'd be 4 people against Victor and Paul, who were the clear biggest threats in the house now, and Meesh, who's kind of like a free agent. So that is kind of the move. Anyway, it's the HOH competition. It's the black box competition, so basically they're like, they can't see anything, and they're just standing in what is like a black box filled with like goop and slime. I guess it smells, and they have to get these discs. So the whole game is like holding onto a button, and you're like in an uncomfortable position. You can't see, you're covered in slime and feathers. Can't let the button go. You hold it for a certain amount of time, and then when the buzzer goes, you run through this like sticky, cementy, goopy mystery fluid and try to get these discs, put them back on your like thing, hold on to the button. It's like an endurance comp. It's only 2 hours, but it seemed like it was really hard. Anyway, everyone manages to hang in there except even Michelle with her advantage still like gets out. And she's like, nah, I got out. But who ends up winning but Natalie? Finally, she wins an HOH, and everyone's like, yeah, nah. Like, I love how people kiss your ass when you win HOH. Victor's like, doesn't it feel good to like win it on your own? And Paul's like, yeah, man, like, I knew you could do it. So they're thinking, well, so Paul and Victor are thinking, like, we worked with Natalie and James to get Polly out last week, so we must be working together, right? But I think in the back of their heads, they know that they're probably the ones going up on the block, even though Victor's like, Natalie, I was HOH for 2 weeks, I never put you up. Natalie wins HOH, but then we see who wins America's care packages, Michelle. And as oh my God, she tries to open the care package box and she starts being like, huh, like she can't open it. She's such a spaz. She starts freaking out and whining because she can't get it open. Everyone's like, calm down, Michelle, calm down. And she finally gets it open and God, she's like a Sesame Street character. She's like, who's the one that's like always on downers? Or is that Eeyore? Whatever, you know, Snuffleupagus or whatever. So she gets it open and she goes, what do I have? C-O-H-O-H. They're like co-head of household. Duh. So it turns out she is co-head of household this week with Natalie and she is responsible for putting up one person on the block. So in Natalie's mind, she thinks she wants to get Paul out. He's the target. And now she has to like consider what Michelle thinks, and Michelle wants to get Nicole out, which Nicole knows. She's like, oh God, here we go. Michelle's gonna be HOH, she's gonna put me on the block. So Natalie and Michelle, and Natalie's excited that Michelle has these co-HOH duties with her because as she said, oh, I was so excited to be head of household, but I forgot when you're head of household, you actually have to like nominate players. Like this is a lot of pressure. So it's actually perfect because now she can have another nom up there and not have to have all like the blood on her hands. And Michelle wants Nicole, but Natalie's like, no, you gotta like, I think Natalie doesn't want to get Nicole out because it's better for her game. Michelle's like, yeah, well, I'm not in a show, man, so like, you guys come after me next. So basically nobody wants to nominate Victor. Everybody apparently loves Victor. And Michelle's like, I'm not gonna be responsible for nominating him because ultimately they are happy to get Paul out. So, they talk, you don't really know what they're gonna do. Natalie's like, I really don't want Nicole getting out, blah, blah, blah. She's like, Paul needs to go, so either like, you're gonna nominate him or I'm gonna nominate him, but he's going on the block. So nominations roll around and who goes up on the block? First, Natalie nominates Victor. And she's like, look, this is like, in her mind, she's like, he's up there as a pawn, but like, come on. And Victor doesn't care now, like, Natalie's crossed him. He's like, I gotta fight for this house. So Natalie puts him on the block, which means that Michelle puts Paul up on the block. Nicole is so stoked that she's not on the block. She thought for sure her and Corey were gonna go up there. Now, Paul and Victor are like feeling betrayed, but I'm sure they know, like, that's actually like the smart move. Like, that's what they should have done. But yeah, that's basically it. Did I miss anything? No. I think Paul's gonna go home, which is a bummer. They basically are all like, Paul and Victor, like, they're gonna win this whole thing. They're gonna win this whole thing if we don't get him out, which is true. But, I don't know. It wasn't that crazy of an episode. I don't know, did I miss anything? No. I just love how everyone's game can change so quickly, and where everyone thought Victor was like annoying and stupid or whatever. Oh, he sucks at this game. And then it only, like, he got voted out and it was like, you've never seen somebody get voted out and come back and have such success, I don't think. And then he comes back, not only is his game so much better, but he's like a competition beast and everyone seems to love him. So that's always good when people don't want to vote you out even though you're a threat just because you're well liked. That's smart. And mayhaps, will there be a showmance between Victor and Michelle looming? Probably not. She's probably way too whiny for him. That's where we're at. Paul and Victor up on the block. All of them seem to want Paul to go home, or maybe in Michelle's mind, Victor will get taken down and Nicole will get put up. But looks like Paul's the main target this week. He's really stepped up. I mean, the fact that he and Victor came back from being two of the biggest targets in the first 2 weeks to now being the two that are potentially running the house says a lot. So this game is really starting to heat up, and I don't know. What else is there to say? There's really nothing else to say. So I'm done. I'm not going to say anymore. So Wednesday, we will see who wins the power of veto, which will answer a lot of questions, and I guess see you then. Goodbye. And stop recording. And put my hair up in a top bun. Oh yeah.